RealkenzTV and the house like kitchen sinks. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment. Definitely share. Subscribe to the channel. Anytime I bring you this action, this heat, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive. Now, with no further ado, let's get into this evening's live video. Now, I understand that I had some technical difficulties, if you will, last night when I was scheduled to go live, so I was unable to go live. All of a sudden now, I can go live. I was able to figure it out, so I didn't even schedule it. I just popped up. You know what I mean? So I understand that I may not have a lot of people that's watching me right now, and that's cool. You'll see it later, no problem. But I was basically wanting to do a Q&A, any sort of questions that people may have had for me. The video that I made last night, it's kind of relevant to some of the things that I'll be saying this evening and what have you. I think people get it misconstrued when I say you're hating on Jay Williams. Just because you have an opinion, and I feel strongly about this, just because you have an opinion on a matter and your opinion is different from my opinion, I'm not referring to you as a hater. You see what I'm saying? You have a right to your opinion. I'm only referring to the haters that are just clearly hating. You know, if you say something basically just saying, oh, well, Jay Williams disappointed me. Jay Williams, he never should have ran from the police. Jay Williams, you know, he should have been more shown more contrition. Jay Williams, you know, he didn't show a whole lot of remorse. Jay Williams, those type of things, they're opinionated. You know, that's how you feel. So I don't even know if they're opinionated. That's a feeling. That's how you feel. But I'm more so speaking on the individuals that's you're just clearly hating on the man. You see what I'm saying? Because you're mad that he's successful and perhaps you're not. Or perhaps you don't want him on your level. I don't know where the hate stems from. I'm quite sure that he was probably already receiving a lot of hate prior to this incident. So if you're receiving hate prior to this incident, you in a situation where you have people that are coming at you. You have people that are, you know, you're out and about with your families. That's Jay Williams, yeah. Jay Williams, he think he's tough. That's the dude that be on YouTube. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So what do? Do you hide in the house? Never go out and be seen with your family? Or do you protect your family? There's a whole lot of things that people just don't know. Just because it's put out there. It's out there. You know, but that doesn't necessarily mean that because it's out there that it's true. You know, one of my favorite movies of all times, got a few favorite movies, but one of my favorite movies is Shawshank Redemption. For you youngsters, y'all go back and Google and watch Shawshank Redemption. It's an individual that basically was framed for murder, in a sense. He came home from work one night, and an individual, an intruder, was in the house, murdered his wife. By the time he came in and realized, you know, what was going on and was trying to, you know, break it up or what have you, it was too late. She was already dead. He's very forthcoming, told his story, said everything, you know, that he knew, was very cooperative with the police. Guess what they do? They twist his words around. They make it as though, you know, he's a victim. Even though the wife was the ultimate victim, that's the spouse. So he was a victim. Guess what? He gets charged with murder. He goes to prison and gets a life sentence. Shawshank Redemption, man. Y'all check it out. Now, the reason that I use that as a comparison is, yes, it's murder opposed to fleeing and evading the police and allegedly having a gun. But at the same time, the two go hand in hand. The two go hand in hand because it's breaking the law. And so, with that being said, when this individual that was accused of murdering his wife on Shawshank Redemption, once it hit the media, everybody looked at him as a murderer. When he went to prison, he always maintained his innocence. I did not do this to my wife. But guess what? They said that you did this to your wife. I'm still to this day trying to figure out who is they. They is everybody else, I guess, evidently. They said that you did this to your wife. So guess what? Now Andy, that was his name in the movie, that was his character named Andy, he's a murderer. He's looked upon as a murderer. He ain't never touched his wife. Truth be told, the only thing he tried to do was to save his wife. So, again, I'm just using that as a comparison, not the actual, alleged crime itself. I'm just using that as a comparison to say, when you're charged with something, it always seems way, way worse than what it really is. And people will say, hey, why are you supporting this guy? My guy, Joseph. What's up, Joseph? I see. I'm not familiar how to pronounce your last name. Is it Rap? I don't want to say it wrong, but my guy, Joseph, man, a big supporter of the channel. I was saying earlier, man, I didn't realize I was going to go live, so I just kind of popped up. You know what I mean? Pause. But, like I was saying, it's just one of those things to where it's like the media is a machine. You feel me? The media is a machine. So once those charges hit, they come from every direction. And when they come from every direction, it's like, okay, you're convicted, and the court of public opinion not even know what's going on. They say, oh, you supporting Jay Williams because, but not necessarily because, but why are you supporting Jay Williams, rather? He struck his wife. He spit in his wife's face. He's in family court. How do you know that? You know what I mean? How do you all know that is the situation that took place at hand? The same way you asked me. Well, how do you know? You wasn't there either. I definitely wasn't there. But there's a reason they say you are presumed innocent until proven guilty. But it's actually backwards, to be honest. And let me tell you why it's backwards. Because, as I mentioned in one of my prior videos, if someone goes downtown, we call it in Kentucky, it's downtown. We don't have a precinct. So we just say downtown. If you go to the police station, you file a complaint against the individual. And you say, you know what? This individual struck me. For no reason, just struck me. And then he turned around and did this to me. He kicked me. Hit me with his fist. Then he kicked me. Then he said, if you ever tell anybody about this, I'm going to kill your whole family. They go to the police station. They have some scars, maybe a busted lip, a busted nose. And I'm not condoning violence whatsoever. I'm just using this as a mere example. They have, clear, visible injuries, if you will. It's like they lose track of the fact of, whoa, this individual may not have done this. They're just looking at your injuries. And now they're saying, oh, this guy's an animal. When all along, you may not have even been in the same city, in the same state. So guess what? because that individual went down and filed a complaint against you. That's how it works in Commonwealth states. I never lived in a non-Commonwealth state. I just know Commonwealth states do not play about any sort of criminal activity. Person says you did it, guess what? Now you got to prove you didn't do it. And you haven't done anything to them in some cases. So the individual that files the complaint, they do what they do. Next thing you know, the police is coming to arrest you. And you're like, whoa, what did I do? Well, we have a warrant for your arrest. This person, a sworn affidavit and said that you did this. And you're like, whoa, I haven't done anything to anyone. I'm sorry, sir. It says that you have a warrant. You have to explain it to the judge. So now you go to jail. If you don't got no money, how you going to bond out? Bonds are high. We don't have bail bondsmen in Kentucky. There's no bail bondsmen in Kentucky. We don't have automatic 10% bonds in Kentucky. So whenever, you may go to jail and your bond is $30,000, $10,000. How you going to get out? So now you sitting in jail, your court date's 2 weeks away. Hopefully you get out at that point, but then it may be another month before you go back to court. And your bills, you may have a car payment on your house, or if you have a mortgage, so all of these things are in grave jeopardy because this individual went downtown and said, he did this to me. And you haven't even done anything. So now once it hits social media, once it hits the news, it's like, oh, wow, this guy's egregious. I can't believe he did this. You haven't done anything to that individual. So then when you have an individual such as myself that supports Jay Williams, it's like, oh, well, you're supporting somebody that beat his kids. You're supporting someone that, physically abuses his wife. But how do you know? Has she come out and said anything? How do we know this? They're just charges. This is the same guy that every time he drops a video, he has multiple thousands of people that watch his videos. He has, thousands of comments. I can't even imagine. You can't respond to all those comments that he has. So he has multiple people that follow him. Yeah, you have some haters on there that, has something to say. No matter what you do in life, you're going to have haters, man. It doesn't matter, man. You can be the wealthy, not rich, wealthy. You give $1 million. Oh, he has all that money. He could have gave $2 million. You give $2 million. Oh, he should have gave $4 million. You give 4, oh, he could have done 10. That's a tax write-off. That means nothing to him. So I'm just simply saying, you're always going to have haters in this world. You're always going to have people that's going to prejudge you. You're always going to have people that they're just going to assume the worst. But at the same time, what skeletons in your closet? What have you done that just hasn't been exposed? But you're quick to say, oh, I don't break the law. It's so easy to break the law. You probably break the law to some extent. And even if you don't, there's other things that you just shouldn't do. Are you addicted to porn? Are you addicted to gambling? Are you addicted to alcohol? Are you addicted to drugs? Are you addicted to sex? Are you a womanizer? Do you cheat on your wife? Do you cheat on your husband? Do you cheat on your taxes, which is actually breaking the law? So there's all type of things that people do that you shouldn't do. But for the simple fact that you haven't been exposed, guess what? It's easy to point the finger at another individual. McDonald's is my crack, fam. You leave at McDonald's alone, man. Hey, McDonald's, the older you get, you know what I mean, the harder it is to accept. But and I appreciate you all tuning in. Like I said, a lot of people don't know. I just popped up and went live. All of a sudden I figured it out how to go live. So I wasn't able to schedule it or anything. I just popped up. People will see it later. You know what I mean? But I'm just on here, just once again, it's not even a Jay Williams situation if you really, really want to be honest. I had a couple wise guys. Oh, you got your Jay Williams cape on it. It's not a Jay Williams cape. I'm Real-Kens. Does it look like I'm trying to get in touch with Jay Williams? I'm building my own thing here. I'm building my own thing. It's no disrespect to Jay, but I'm just saying I'm building my own thing. But the main thing that I hate is when people are so quick to judgment, when they don't even have a right to judge anyone. You don't have a right to judge anyone. Even once that person is, let's just say Jay Williams does get convicted. Does that mean you have a right to judge him? Who are you? Who am I? Did you create Jay Williams? Did you create Real-Kens? Did I create you? No. We all make mistakes. Oh, well, he shouldn't have ran from the police and he could have killed somebody. Absolutely. You're right. He definitely could have. And that was a bad look. Because when you going, major speeds like that, 100 miles an hour and plus, you never know what can happen. Excuse me. And like some water. Good old water. But we all this hating that we doing, not we, that some of you all are doing, not most. I see a lot of supporters. There's a whole lot of hating going on. And I guess people are just miserable with their lives. Misery loves company. So it's like, okay, well, you know what? I thought this guy had really turned the corner. I thought this guy had really changed his life. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. You're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? As though you're some superhuman. I wish everybody could just, all the skeletons that people have in their closets that have something bad to say about Jay Williams, I wish it could be brought to the forefront. You know what I mean? And you're absolutely right. What's that? D1 Gord? Is that your name? I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. You know what I mean? He says we're not all perfect. We all mess up. Just don't continue to do it. You're right. You absolutely right. And guess what? Jay Williams has been out for 9 years. 9 years. That's a major accomplishment for someone that's been in and out of the system. Probably since he was younger. I don't know. I'm assuming. Maybe not. That's a major accomplishment. Recidivism. So all-time high rate. Because let me tell you what happens. Let me give you all a little insight. Like I said, I call myself the bridge. You know what I mean? Jay Williams is going through the things that he's dealing with, not making excuses, not making any sort of, outlets. He has to hold himself accountable. I have to hold myself accountable. The reason I call myself the bridge is to explain to you all that may not know everything that an individual goes through. So you'll look at it and you'll say, well, he's a successful YouTuber. He has a construction business. He makes several $1,000s a month. Why would you jeopardize yourself and your family and your freedom when you have all of these things going for you? Now, while I definitely agree, it's the same way. What's up, Frosty Cat? People are definitely quick to judge. I appreciate you tuning in. But at any rate, if you know that cigarettes will ultimately kill you, why do you smoke cigarettes? If you know that excessive alcohol is not good for you, why do you drink excessively? If you know that if you lose on this football game, that's your mortgage payment, and you and your family may be put out on the streets, why do you bet on the game? You see what I'm saying? Like, a lot of us, we do things that we shouldn't do, but yet everybody wants to judge you once it's in the eye of the public. You have a right to your opinion. You have a right to feel how you feel. You definitely do. But don't write a man off that made a mistake and how could he run from the cops? If you're not an ex-felon, man, you know what that feeling is when you driving along and you see them blue lights. Now the average person is gonna say, well, if you haven't done anything, then you have nothing to worry about. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. And again, I'm not condoning anything that Jay Williams may have done. I'm not. I'm just giving you some insight on what it really, really is. As I was mentioning before, he's been out 9 years. The recidivism rate is at an all-time high. People go back because when you come home, you do 5 years in the pen. We're just going to say 5. He did almost double that. You do 5 years in the pen. The average person, not everybody, but the average person, guess what? You come home to nothing. That's why you end up having to go to a halfway house in a lot of cases for about 6 months. Get you a little job, $9, $10 an hour, McDonald's, something like that. Save your money up to where you can get you a crappy apartment. And then boom, yon. In Kentucky, they don't even give you $200 when you get out. I don't care if you did 30 years straight. Guess what you get? A bus ticket. That's it. Nothing. So when you come home, you're coming home to nothing. You're coming home to, even if you did get an education while you was in there, it's going to be difficult to get a job. You got a skill. So yeah, you may get a job, laying block, brick, painting, something, of that magnitude, which is nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it. But see, what you all don't understand is a lot of these prisons, they're cutting out all of those programs to where you can't even get a skill now when you're incarcerated in Kentucky. You know why? Because they have private prisons now. Yeah, they got private prisons now. So when you have a private prison and you want to have all of these different programs that you offer, guess what? The instructors are not coming in there doing it for free. So now you have to pay these individuals to come in there. So they're cutting out a lot of the programs here. So when you go to prison, guess what you're doing? You're learning how to maybe clean toilets, clean showers, cut grass, weed eat. You're doing all of the things for the prison. You're maintaining the prison. You see what I'm saying? Because they're going to get the inmates to maintain the prison up to an individual that you bring in to maintain it. And, you may have to pay them $30, $40 an hour to do certain things. Why would we do that when we can get the inmates to do it? And if you're one of the lucky ones and you have a one of the better jobs on the yard, heck, we'll pay you $5 a day. Everybody else makes $1.25 a day. So, it's like, I think my screen went out, but I'm back. I'm sorry. So we're gonna rewind. I know how you gonna rewind? Obtain in prison, you get your GED. What if you already have your GED? Well, they have substance abuse classes. Oh yeah, they have those. They have several of those, but everybody don't have substance abuse problems. So when you come home, you really haven't learned anything. Now you come home, you don't have any clothes. You don't have a car. You don't have a place to live at. So you go to the halfway house, like I was saying earlier. You save your money up for 6 months and, you work your job at McDonald's or Hardee's or something like that. Nothing wrong with those jobs whatsoever. Having, a job is a job. But then they play with your hours. One week you get 40 hours. Then the next week the manager gets mad at you. You get 28 hours. Then the next week, labor, they're cutting labor, so you get 24 hours. So what do you really have? You go to a factory and work, but you don't have transportation. Factories work on point systems. So if you're late so many times, you lose so many points. So then, you don't have transportation. The factory's way across town. You're trying to catch the bus. You can't catch Uber and Lyft because it's expensive. So you're late 3 or 4 times and you lose your job. So I'm saying it's very, very difficult for a felon once he gets out of jail. I'm not saying that you can't do it. Jay did it for 9 years. I'm doing it now. Several people do it. I'm just simply saying, cut the man a break, man. Everything that they're saying he did, he may not have, necessarily done. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. I'm not sitting here saying I'm riding with Jay Williams regardless of what he does or what he did, or simply saying the man is a man. He's a human being. That's it. Feel me? Brandon Johnson. Let's see what he has to say. How was someone older like me, somewhat disabled, 50 years old, social worker, who went after and exposed child abusers on my caseload and got 3 felonies, be treated in prison? I'm going to address that. Saying, we just have to ease up off Jay. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. At least allow the facts to come out. That's it. If you don't want food with him, you don't want to support his channel, delete him and go to the next channel. You feel me? But you don't have to just talk crazy to the man. That's probably why he doesn't really do videos. Like, he probably just doesn't even care to come online now to see all these things and nasty, hateful, and lewd and lascivious things that people are saying about him. Gotta have thick skin in this game, though, baby. Gotta have thick skin. Now, to get back to your question, Brandon, let me read that again. How would someone older like me, somewhat disabled, 50 years old, social worker, who went after and exposed child abusers on my case and got 3 felonies for it, be treated in prison? To be honest, everybody doesn't know your case in prison. Like, when you go to prison, everybody doesn't know exactly what you're in there for. You feel me? Now, sometimes, you got people they brag about their case. Yeah, Google me. And yeah, the loudest ones in the room or sometimes the weakest ones in the room. So in a situation like yours, people may not even know what you were in there for. But I can tell you this, if they found out what you was in there for, man, you're not going to have no problems, man. You're not going to have no problems because you expose child abusers. One thing people can't stand in prison is someone that does things to kids, elderly people, and a thief. There's other things people can't stand, but those are the 3 things that I can think of off the top of my head that people absolutely cannot stand. So by chance, in the unfortunate event that you ever had to go to prison, which I hope that's never the case, I mean, a case like that seemed like you would get probation, but you wouldn't have any problems in there. Just, mind your business. Stand up for yourself if somebody does something to you or tries to do something to you. That's where you gain your respect, win or lose. But you're not going to have any problems, man. Absolutely no problems. Black Alien, he's gay like P. Diddy parties. I don't know who he's referring to, but sound like you done been to a P. Diddy party or two. But yeah, man, I wish I had more people on here, but hey, the people that are on here, man, priority, man. Like I said, this wasn't a scheduled ordeal. It was just, out of the blue, I'm live now. You feel what I'm saying? And I like to address the viewers. I like to address them personally sometimes, because it gets a little difficult responding to everybody's comments sometimes, and I can't even imagine someone that has thousands. There's no way. There's no possible way that you got 10,000, heck, even 5,000 responses and comments. How can you respond to all of those? You feel me? So yeah, I might definitely have to get a moderator, man, because Especially once I continue to grow and get larger paws, double paws. You know what I mean? And y'all start sharing my videos, man. If you don't mind, start sharing my videos so that way you know, we can expand and we can get the message out there. But hopefully I've answered, the few questions that I did get. Hopefully if I've addressed some things that perhaps you all were thinking or was on your mind or whatnot. And I'm gonna continue to support Jay, and not just Jay, anybody else that I fool with that's going through something. I don't just jump off the bandwagon. Oh well, he got arrested. Can't fool with him anymore. The cop said he did this. The cop said he did that. He's a bad guy all of a sudden. Nah, don't work that way. Not with me. I'm gonna ride till the wheels fall off. If I fool with you, I fools with you. Just the way I am. Now, you have some people, and I'll say this before I go, you have some people that didn't really like Jay's demeanor. I can see how you all would think that. He came across a little aggressive initially. Understand he was already incarcerated. So his whole demeanor is not the Jay Williams that you all see in his truck that's bringing you all, videos on a regular basis. He's the Jay Williams that's incarcerated. He was panicking at the time. He was frustrated at the time. He was ashamed at the time. And you're right. People want to see contrition. People want to see remorse. People want to know that you're sorry. They don't want to hear, I didn't do anything. They don't want to hear, I'm in here for nothing. They don't want to hear, hey, run that cash app, run that money. I need y'all to get me out. People don't want to hear that. And I'm not bashing him. I have to play both sides of the fence. You know what I mean? Pause. I have to be objective. So I have to understand what some of the people's issues are with Jay. You don't want to come across as arrogant. I seen somebody, oh well, he had the audacity to come online with a gold chain. What is a gold chain? What do you think? Because he went to jail for 2 weeks that he lost all his possessions? Come on now. Like we just nitpicking a little bit too much. His lawyers, there's no telling what his lawyer cost. Lawyer may have hit him for 20,000-30,000, maybe. So I'm just simply saying, no, it wasn't the people that contributed to him financially. It wasn't. They did that out of the goodness and greatness of their heart. RealkenzTV, man. Hopefully, I was able to shed a little bit more light. I will be going live again real soon now that I know how to go. It's just kind of like just a trial run, a test run, you know what I mean? And any questions you all may have, keep the comments coming. And we just gonna do it like that. You feel me? RealkenzTV. We out.